everybody, got a Flames of War Madness update. Gonna show off what I've been doing, what I've been planning. Ever since V4 come out, I'm really excited. Finally getting back into it again. I took a little bit of a break for like 6 months. Didn't play any World War II games at all. Just waiting for V4 to come out. And sure enough, it came out. Got it. Got the free rules. Played some late war. I love it. So, quite happy. So, moving on forward with my Flames of War hobby, my World War II hobby. I'm going to pick up where I left off. If you remember, I was doing a lot with the Italy campaign, which I really enjoy. One of the forces I collect is the Americans. Basically, the old Ironsides division, which is the 1st Armored Division. Get a little background on it right in here in the Road to Rome book, which I absolutely love. Anyway, this is usually what I've been playing. And either a tank company or more likely an armored rifle company. Now V4 is a little different. It doesn't really restrict you to a company. Basically, you have formations, which are like companies, but you can have multiple numbers of them, which is really cool. And one of the things I wanted to do in the old days is include some Brits. And these are V3 books, but you can use them in V4. In fact, you're supposed to use these for V4 currently. But it works a little bit different because V4 uses forces. Instead of being restricted to, okay, British can be allies and it's a rifle platoon or a Commonwealth rifle platoon. As you can see in this list, that's my options for including Brits. And also here we've got some artillery that could be allies. Now that's pretty cool in V3, but in version 4, it goes a little bit further than that. You're not just limited to just a single platoon of that type. Now this is page 41, this British rifle platoon. So let's go to page 41 and see what kind of formation I can have. So I'm not restricted to just a platoon. I can have an entire formation of Brits. And basically a formation has got the same structure as a company. According to these charts, you got to have an HQ, and you got to have at least 2 combat platoons in this case. So if I want to take Brits, I would have to take this HQ and these 2 combat platoons. So I'm getting a much hardier formation of Brits to add as allies. But of course, there are no ally rules anymore in version 4. It's just if you can have them as allies in version 3, you can have them as a formation in version 4. So if I take my 1st Armored Rifle Company, which I usually do, take my HQ and 2 combat units as a minimum, and that's 1 formation. As a 2nd formation, I could take some Brits. In this case, on page 41, it would be a rifle company, which is what I'm looking at. And I would take an HQ and 2 combat platoons of Brits. And that's a good way to start collecting Brits if you already play Americans, which is my case. So this is a great way for me to start building up my Brits for the Italy campaign. And that's what I intend to do. In addition, I can take all these other guys. I can have multiple formations of rifle company. In other words, I could take a 2nd rifle company of just buy an HQ and the minimum 2 combat units. And then I'd have 2 formations of Americans and 1 of Brits. So that's 3 formations right there. The only limitation is that you can only take support options, like here, support platoons, from 1 of the lists that make up your army, your force, as it's called. So I could take my support from here, or I could choose to take my support options from here. Because I got a formation of Brits, I could take from their support instead. And yeah. It's pretty cool, version 4, the way it works. I really love that about it. You can really have a lot more variety in your forces. So this is where I'm at currently. I'm going to start collecting and painting up some Brits. Jump ahead here. See what I got so far. And I've had these guys for quite a while. I got some Shermans here from the old open fire boxed sets. Two box sets worth. These are for my Fireflies and Shermans for the Brits. So I think there's like 6 models in all right there. I've got let's see, I got a full rifle company, which most of this I've taken apart, assembled. Some of it is kind of painted. I've been working on it. I've also got a Typhoon. That should be fun. Got a little extra Stuart 5 there, Stuart V. And I got a full company, parachute company right there for the Brits. I have not cracked that open yet. Pretty stoked. And of course you got to have your mandatory artillery. And I got some medium battery. And I also have more models than this actually. Those are the ones unassembled. I have this bad boy. This is chock full of assembled stuff, or partially assembled. Stuff I've been working on here and there. You can see some of it. I got lots more Stuarts. I've got Shermans and Fireflies in here. You can see they're partially assembled, so I got tons of these. And of course, I don't know why these broke off the way they did. It's unfortunate, the bases, I mean. And I got another battery of guns, which needs assembling. Finish painting them. Of course, you got to have your little carriers. Got plenty of these. I love them little guys. And of course, all these infantry. This nice little command scene. For some reason, I put these all on their bases and started painting them. Which I wouldn't normally do, but I did in this case. I'm going to start on them. I got plenty of infantry. This is a full company in here, actually. And it shows you where I'm at. Some of these guys. Let me get one that's at least partially painted and zoom in on them here so you can get an idea of what we're looking at. And of course I have the full paint set and all the colors I need for Flames of War Brits. So this is where I'm at. There's plenty in here to work with. I hope to eventually get to these guys and do all of it and have a complete Flames of War army focused on the infantry. I don't know exactly what actual division I'm going to be focusing on. I've jumped around a little bit here and there, toyed with the idea of the guards and stuff. Heck, I even collected the dice tins as well for a couple formations. Should have pulled them out, but yeah, I got them too. So I'm all set. I'm very stoked over V4. It's not so heavy in the rules department. It's not overwhelming like it used to be. I mean, I wouldn't say the rules. I mean, the rules are streamlined, but they took away a lot of the fluff and a lot of the unnecessary rules descriptions. You know, they tighten it up so that you're just reading the rules, you know, and it's most simplified format, and it's less intimidating as a set of rules. And there it is, folks. Highly recommended by me. I hope to get a lot more bat reps in on this. But yes, this is something I'm going to be working on. Many of you know I'm a big fan of American War of Independence, and I've been working on them. This is my main project for the year, my Bunker Hill project, and 28 mil. These are all glories. And this is what I'm focused on. But I do paint other things here and there, and that's where my Brits are going to fit in for my Flames of War. So there's a little side change of pace variety to my painting. I'll be painting up some Flames of War Brits. Probably an HQ and 2 combat platoons. Minimum sizes probably. Just to add them to my games. And yeah, we'll see how well they do alongside my Americans going against the Germs in Italy. So let's see what happens, folks. That's my update. I hope you enjoyed. It's been a while. It feels good to be back playing Flames of War again. At least World War II stuff. So stay tuned, folks. I got lots more coming. Lots more World War II and Flames of War action coming. My Flames of War madness. Okay, folks, take care.